How to get private clients as a luxury driver. I get this question a lot, so hopefully I'm able to answer all y'all questions inside this one video. If not, I make videos every other day, so eventually I'll get to it. Another thing I got for y'all is my little chat box, my little screen right here. If this screen of me being here bother y'all, just let me know. I'll take myself out and I'll just have a voiceover. But I just like it that way. I feel like I'm one-on-one with y'all. But like I said, just let me know if me being here bother y'all. But with that being said, let's go. Number one, we got right location. So I'm gonna just go ahead and break this down. This on and off the clock as a driver, whether you're driving Uber and Lyft or you running your own private clients, and whether you taking a couple days off or you taking one day off, you always need to be in the right locations. And a lot of drivers don't know this, but whether you're on or off the clock, you always meeting different people. So those people are potential leads to them being your private clients. So I put on here hotels, coffee shops, airports, and restaurants. And like I said, off the clock, this is big too, because I done met people and they end up being my private clients. And I, just through a simple conversation, me being at the gym, talking to people. So I would tell you on the basis, just be a good personality person and just be able to have conversations and meet people. As a business owner, you driving for yourself, I'll just say this, you're responsible for how much you make. Let's just say that. So you been like kind of antisocial in this business is not going to work. You kind of got to be like an extrovert and just talk to different people. I ain't saying walk up to everybody and talk to everybody, but just having that friendly vibe, good personality will attract business to you, meaning like private clients. So right here, I put hotels. Get cool with the valet. That's something I recommend because the valet run across thousands of people per day that come in and out of the hotel. So they can always recommend your service to the people that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't say focus too much on the front desk staff because sometimes, depending on the hotel, they might already have their own drivers. Like the Marriott got their own drivers. I know this one hotel here in Houston, the Post Oak, they got their own drivers. So you can call the front desk. I wouldn't recommend going up there unless you just want to and say, hey, I run a private chauffeur company. Just want to see if I can talk to somebody about transportation, being able to drive for y'all. They either going to tell you yes or no. Done deal. And I put guest on here as well. So some hotels, they don't care if you solicit their business. I will always tell you to go do your due diligence and research before you actually solicit your business to their guest. So some of them allowed and some of them don't, but you can walk up to random people at the hotel. I don't walk up to them inside the hotel, but sometimes I'll park on the outskirts of the hotel. And if I see somebody walking with their bags or suitcases, I'll go up to them and talk to them. And I'll make it quick and brief, introduce who I am, what I do, and offer my service to them. It's either a yes or no. So I'm here to simplify it for y'all, not make it complicated. So I put a little script in. I run a private black car service for executive clients. Here's my card if anyone ever needs a luxury ride. Now, you don't have to say that line word for word. I'll just put that out there so you kind of understand the basics of how to come off or pitch to people to sell your service to them. Whenever it comes to coffee shops, in this business, you're just going to want to target the rich areas. I'm going to just say that, I always used to hold my tongue and, prevent myself from saying that, but I'm not doing it no more. It is what it is. You want to make money in this business, you have to target the rich areas. Why? They're the only people that's going to be able to afford your service outside of Uber and Lyft. Middle class people, they take the cheap rides. That's just what it is. And there's nothing wrong with them being middle class, but I'm just saying 9 times out of 10, they're not going to want to pay you $100 an hour. That's just what it is. Airports, y'all know how airports are. I would say if you got a parking pass, you can walk inside of the airport to go meet different people. But the only way to really get airport clients is typically through Uber and Lyft, unless you just want to get a parking pass and walk inside of the airport and talk to different people. You can do that as well. You can go to a restaurant inside of the airport, quick coffee shop inside of the airport, and just talk to people. But airports are good as well. But like I said, you mainly going to get clients through airport rides on Uber and Lyft. That's just what it is. Restaurants and lounges. Now, this is good. I mean, this is more going to be off the clock whenever it comes to dealing with people. Obviously, if you're driving, you're not going to have time to go to a restaurant and a lounge. But if you're off the clock, you having a quick lunch or you having a quick dinner, this is good because there's people there, especially on a weekend. They might be having dinner. They might want to go out. After they have dinner or lunch, they might want to go out to a day bar or a nightclub later that night. And you talking to them, you can sell your service to them. Some of them love private drivers. It makes them feel more red carpet status. So, just talk to everybody. That's what I'm saying. In this business, as a chauffeur driver, you got to be an extrovert. You got to be willing to have conversations with people on a day-to-day basis. Different people, new people every day. That's what's going to maximize your earnings. And I'm telling y'all this from experience. Once I started being more open and talking to different people every day, I doubled my earnings. I would even say I tripled my earnings just by having good conversations. That's how I was able to get in this position so quickly, because I'm talking. I'm selling myself the whole time, whether it's on the clock or off the clock. So always make sure you're in the right location, and it don't matter whether you're on the clock or off the clock. Always be ready to sell your service or always offer your service. Next, we got always be ready to pitch, which I just said that. You want to dress the part, clean, confident, and professional. And you don't always have to be in a suit. I always tell people I recommend just a button-up long sleeve shirt with some nice slacks and some dress shoes. Always carry your business cards at all times. Have a QR code on your business cards. And you want that QR code to go directly to your website. If you don't have a website, get with me, shoot me a message. I can get you a website built. But you need to have a website. It just add credibility. Like, oh, he's legit, or oh, she's legit. I want to book. So just always be on point. Always be ready. That's the best way I can explain it to y'all. Sharp and on point in this business will get you very, very far. Next, we got what to say in person. So in this page right here, I gave y'all a bunch of different networking scripts y'all can say. And this is going to vary depending on what scenario you in. So always approach with confidence and not desperation. You don't want to come off like, oh, hey, how you doing? My name is Jack. I just want to let you know I run a private limousine company service, and I would love to offer you my service. No, you don't want to sound desperate, because clients in this business are like cats. You know how you can't run up to a cat or they gonna run off. You kind of got to be like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And, then it start coming to you slowly. That's how clients are in this business. And I will argue that's any business. Whenever people see you desperate for money and clients, they run away because they like, okay, what's wrong? Why don't you have people you servicing? So chill. Don't be eager or anxious. Just relax. I put out a quick script right here. This will be mainly if you run across people, like at a restaurant or you at a coffee shop and you see somebody with bags or a suitcase, or you just outside of a hotel, you just walk up to them. Hey man, I run a black car service here in Houston. Well, whatever city you live in. I'm just giving y'all an example because I'm in Houston. Mostly airport trips and private events. If you or anyone ever needs anything reliable, here's my info. Something so simple. Done. Make it about the value and not the hustle. So in this business, is always about the experience. You always want to provide top tier experience. That's what's going to get people to come back, not only come back, but also refer your business to somebody else. If you're just trying to earn a quick buck and hustle, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to come back and book. Another line you can have, and like I said, this depends on different scenes or the scenario. This one right here is more if you get Uber clients or Lyft clients, or if you pick somebody up at a coffee shop or restaurant, you can just say, hey, most of my clients appreciate having one consistent professional driver instead of random Uber drivers. So if a Uber passenger or Lyft passenger is in your car and they talking to you about wanting you to drive them again, as y'all having good conversation, you can just wing that inside the conversation. For example, I was talking to this lady a couple weeks ago, and she was like, oh my God, I love your car. I want you to drive me again. And, as we was talking and going deeper into the conversation, she would start telling me about her bad experiences when it came to Uber drivers. And I was like, yeah, that's why a lot of my clients came to me directly, because they got tired of having different drivers. They just wanted to book directly with me because they know the service is going to be on point, nice clean SUV every time, etc. And she was like, yeah. Long story short, she ended up becoming one of my private clients. So you kind of want to wing it into the conversation and allow them to tell you that, which on the next section, I actually have that in there. Like it's going to be a part where it's telling you, let them tell you about their bad rideshare experiences, whether it's Uber or Lyft. Leave something behind. This depends on, I would say more so like you walking up to them or you meeting them at a coffee shop or airport, whatever. After you have conversation with them, you can be like, hey, here's my card. I don't know why I put flyer on there. You don't have to do no damn flyer, but just a business card is fine with your QR code. But honestly, y'all, I would tell y'all, focus on website and getting their number. Main thing is I tell people to stay away from business cards. Have your business cards on you because you will run across people that don't want to type up your website or don't want to give out their number. Have your business cards on you, but 9 times out of 10, what they're going to do is rip it up. So I always recommend getting a number. That way, once you get their number, you can send them your website. Like I said, it adds credibility. It's like, it's a credential like, oh, he's legit. She's legit. So always keep that in mind. That's what's been working for me. Getting the number, sending my website. If not sending my website, I'll just send them a confirmation text asking about their travel details, whether it's going to the airport, getting dropped off from the airport, you want to go to dinner, whatever. I always ask about their travel details. That way I'm able to cover it. Next, we got turning Uber and Lyft riders into clients. And I just gave y'all like some simple scripts. Actually, let me move myself out the way. Y'all, you never want to start off with these things ever. You want to add it into the conversation. Soon as somebody get in your car, I'll use y'all as an example. Does this sound good? Say I'm the Uber driver, y'all the Uber customer. Y'all get in. I say, hey, how you doing? Do you travel often? Do you take Uber and Lyft a lot? If I say that right off the bat, that's unattractive. That don't sound good at all. Like you want to take your time with having a conversation with them. One thing about people, they love talking about themselves. So as y'all having a good conversation, they'll slowly start revealing things about themselves. And once you figure out what they do for work, that'll tell you everything you need to know. So things you can ask inside of the conversation is, do you travel often? Ever had a bad rideshare experience, which I just stated a couple minutes ago? They love that. Everybody had a bad rideshare experience. So they'll talk, I would say hours and hours if possible, but they will literally talk the whole ride about their bad rideshare experience. So try to keep it to a minimum whenever you're talking about that with them. Something you can say is most of my clients started on Uber. Once they experienced my service, they booked me directly. I track flights, show up early, and you always ride in luxury. Now, like I said, you do not have to use that line or speech verbatim. You can add something to that or, resemble that same message. But you always want to wing it inside of your conversation because it's like, okay, he's offering me this 5-star service or this top tier service. Sometimes you don't even have to do it. Just providing a good conversation, having a nice clean SUV, and having car amenities like water, snacks, gum, magazines, stuff like that would have them wanting to call you back. That's just what it is. So I wouldn't say be too much heavy on telling them about this. The best way I can simplify it, is just being a likable person, good conversation, nice clean SUV, and car amenities. That's the best way I can put it. And have them talk about themselves the whole ride. You gonna earn them as a private client. I'm telling you, hands down. It works every time. I will argue, I probably did that maybe once or twice. Ever since then, I just provide top tier experience. If you provide that, you don't have to sell yourself as much. Your experience gonna do it for you. And I just stated the things: clean car amenities, good conversation, and not being a weirdo, because a lot of people are weirdos. And I'm not saying y'all are, but I'm just saying, like, don't be giving off like weird vibes. Be yourself. But I'm saying, like, some people be asking some crazy questions. So as long as you've been yourself and you've been authentic and genuine and having good conversation, you'll be all right. But tracking flights is huge, especially when you get clients that travel a lot from your city and directly to your city. You tracking flights is like, oh, wow. Because whenever these people get off a plane, they got to call up a Uber or a Lyft ride. It might take that Uber or Lyft driver 15, 20 minutes to directly get to them. But you've been their private driver. You already tracking their flight. You already at the airport waiting on them. Now the ball is flipped. They're like, damn, I know once I get off this plane in LA or Houston, Trey is going to be waiting on me. So I ain't got to worry about calling an Uber. Done. That's how I get a lot of my airport clients. So saying you track flights is very huge, especially if you get a client that travel a lot. That's something you're going to want to say whenever y'all have conversations and they insisting on you being their driver. So tracking flights is huge. Obviously, if you're tracking their flights, you need to show up early. That's why I added that in there. And of course, if you got a nice black SUV, they will be riding in luxury. So make sure every time you're picking up your private clients, no matter if it's airport clients, local clients, out of town clients, always make sure your SUV is super clean. And I'm going to make a video on things you need to have in your car to always make sure your SUV inside is in top tier shape. So after the ride comes to an end, if they highly interested in calling you up again, you can just say, hey, let me lock you in. What's your number? They put their number in and you just send a confirmation text. That's what I do. Send a confirmation text. Hey, this is Trey, your chauffeur driver. If you need anything in the future, let me know. It was a pleasure driving you. Boom. Something so simple you can say quick, fast. Or if they like, yeah, I got somewhere else I need to go later tonight, send them a confirmation text saying, hey, just send me the details. Done. So like I said, I'm trying to simplify it for y'all. This is a simple business. You don't want to overcomplicate it. Making money in this business is easy if you just follow these simple steps. So let me move myself out the way again. When they want to come back, this is right here is going to be directly with Uber and Lyft clients because they might like your SUV. Me having a Range Rover, people like that. They feel like the red carpet status. So they'd be like, hey, man, we just going to be 30 minutes or 20 minutes, or we might just be an hour. This is something you can say directly. Offering to hold their time is big. You can just be like, want me to block off that time now so I'm available for you? One thing I will say, y'all, is I made a mistake early on when I first started out as far as like clients wanting me to come back and pick them up. But after I dropped them off to wherever they wanted me to drop them off at, they'd be like, hey, man, go do your own thing. You ain't got to sit around and wait on us. Like, go take Uber rides or Lyft rides if that's something you have to do. And I used to be like, okay, yeah. And then as I'm doing that, they'll call or text me. Next thing you know, I'm an hour or 30 minutes away from them because they told me to go do my thing, which is catching more rides. I stopped doing that. So now I would tell y'all from my mistake, if these people are not willing to book you for your hourly rate after you drop them off, say, hey, sorry, I only do per hour. So if you book with me directly and you want me to drop you off somewhere and come back and pick you up, I have to wait here. So I'm gonna have to charge you per hour. Is that something you can do? If not, just book a Uber or a Lyft ride. Now, don't tell them that directly. Kind of let them down easy in a professional way. The best way I can put it for y'all, if you get clients that want you to pick them up, drop them off, and then tell you to go do your own thing, be like, no, my hourly rate is this. Whenever clients want to book with me directly, I don't go do my own thing. And then you state the reasons why. Like if I go take Uber or Lyft rides, I might end up being an hour away from you. Then whenever you're ready, I can't come get you right on time. So if you want to book, if you want me to come back and pick you up, I'm gonna have to just sit here and you're gonna have to pay me my hourly rate. And if they can afford it, they'll do it. Like I said, I stopped being a nice guy and I just told them straight up, like, hey, it's either you going to book me for this hourly rate or you can catch an Uber and Lyft ride. 9 times out of 10, they're going to want to book with you directly because they're not going to call an Uber ride. So they ain't got no choice but to pay you your hourly rate. Another thing is one thing about this business, always communicate. So communication is key whenever it comes to this business. So you can be clear and proactive and just say, hey, I'll text you in 30 minutes before just to confirm. Make it feel exclusive. And this is, like I said, this section right here is mainly going to be for Uber and Lyft rides. So whenever like you getting ready to drop a Uber and Lyft rider off and they be like, hey, come back and pick me up, just grab the number and then send them a confirmation text. Hey, just give me a 20-30 minute heads up. That way I'm in the area. Because if it's an Uber and Lyft passenger, 9 times out of 10, they going to want to get to know you first before they actually book you. Sometimes they might want you to come back and pick them up and deal with them the whole day. It varies. Each person is different. So I would just say if you get an Uber and Lyft passenger or rider that wants you to come back and get them, just stay within the area. But don't wait, because sometimes they might not call you back. Always make it feel exclusive. I keep my schedule flexible for VIP clients like you, just let me know anytime. And once again, that varies too, depending on the person and dependent on the conversation. After you get experience in the game, you can tell when somebody just talking and when somebody's serious. So as you get more into the game and you get more experience, you'll be able to tell. So all of these are just different things you can implement whenever they want you to come back. Block off their time, make it seem professional. Like, hey, I just, after I drop you off, I can just go set up over here. I'll block off my time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would love that. Or nah, you know what? Go do your own thing. I'll just catch another ride. Like I said, if you do come back and get them, grab their number and just send them a confirmation text. And as you're driving them, you can always say, hey, if you want me to come back and get you, I always keep my schedule flexible for VIP clients like you. Just let me know when you're ready or let me know anytime. Boom, something so simple and easy. Last but not least, we got the final tip. Consistency brings referrals. Let me move myself once again, y'all. So whenever it comes to this, the best way I can put it is you never really want to tell people, hey, could you refer me to some of your friends and family? Just offer a good experience. So I put things on here, but it's just the experience is what's going to bring you referrals. And by experience, I mean how good the ride is, good conversation, good music, how clean the SUV is, car amenities. Those all play a role in experience. So just make sure y'all note that and keep tabs on that. Don't be so hyper aggressive on asking for referrals, because if you ask and they like, okay, man, this guy desperate, and 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do it. I promise y'all, if you providing a good experience for your clients and customers, whether it's Uber and Lyft or your private clients, they always going to refer you to somebody else. Always. I would say just keep notes on your repeat riders. If you drive them more than twice, put them in your contacts. That way, next time you pick them up, hey, Alex, how you doing? Remembering their name is everything. And I would say that's in any business. Always show up early and polished. Y'all know that. I say that in every video. And I put ask for referrals in a smooth way. But as I stated earlier, just the experience is what's going to get you the referral. So don't try to ask too much on it. But if you want to, if you're just eager to get it and anxious to get more private clients, you can be like, hey, if you know anyone else that appreciates great service, feel free to pass my info along. Boom. Simple and done. But I would try to tell y'all, or I'm going to tell y'all, stay away from that as much as possible. Just provide a good experience, and 9 times out of 10, they will want to book with you again. That'll be it for the video. If y'all have any questions, just let me know inside of the general chat, or if you still have more questions or you just want to talk to me directly, just book a one-on-one with me. I'm here. But I'll catch y'all next video.